How are you, Primary 5? Today we are going to discuss Unit 4, Lesson 5, 6, and 7 with the name Our Planet. First of all, guys, you know that in the last session we took a lot of ways to keep our environment clean and safe. Like, for example, I said don't throw rubbish in streets and parks, you have to save water, reduce the smoke of cars and factories, you have to recycle your old things and use them again, you have to plant some more trees. And today we are going to talk about one of the best ways to keep our planet safe and clean, and one of the most exciting things ever. It's the eco home. As you can see, eco homes, which we call them the environment's friends, so they are the friends of our environment. So let's know more about these eco homes. First of all, these eco homes are houses that were built in the nature, as in forests, beside mountains or lakes. So you can't find these eco homes inside the city or the town, but they are in the nature, like in forests, beside mountains or lakes. What else about these eco homes? These houses use clean energy that doesn't pollute the environment, and which we call alternative energy. So alternative energy is the clean energy, like the energy we get from the sun, which I call it solar energy, and the energy we get from water, which we call water energy, and the energy we get from wind, which we call wind energy. So these houses use the clean kinds of energy that don't pollute the environment. And also, guys, these eco homes don't use fossil fuels. Fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas. So they don't use them. You know that coal, oil, and natural gas can damage the environment. So eco home don't use fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, which are bad for the environment, but they use the clean kinds of energy, as we said before. Also, guys, these eco homes have skylights in the roof to get light from the sun, not to use lamps. So, guys, they use skylights like this, like big windows, to save the light. And of course they save the energy at the same time. Okay, so they use these skylights in the roof. Also, guys, we use wooden beams. These are the wooden beams. These are the wooden beams to build these homes. So it's expensive to build. Okay, so let's move to something else. People in eco homes get pure water from springs like small rivers near them. So they get everything from the nature around them. And now, guys, let's move to some new words. The first one is alternative energy. Alternative energy. Eco homes use alternative energy such as the sun and the wind energy. So, guys, as you can see from this picture, this is the alternative energy. I call it the clean energy or the renewable energy. Renewable energy means you can renew them and produce more of them. So this is alternative energy. So, guys, alternative energy, it's a way of making electricity from, for example, wind, from sun, and from water power. So this is alternative energy. Let's move to fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. Take this examples. These eco homes don't use fossil fuels like coal and oil. So they don't use fossil fuels like coal and oil, as you can see from this picture. So fossil fuels, they are materials we burn to make electricity. For example, coal, oil, and natural gas. And guys, you know, if we burn them, of course it's unclean and can damage the environment. So this is fossil fuels. And also we have here beams. beams. Look at this example. Eco homes have wooden beams and wooden floors. This is the wooden beams like this, and this is the wooden floors. So what I mean by this beam, it's, as you can see, a long thick piece of wood, long and thick piece of wood to hold the roof, so this is the beam. Okay, let's move to this word mud. He came from the football match covered in mud. So look at the picture. Of course, this is the mud. You know, it's a soft and wet ears. So I see again, he came from the football match covered in mud. And also I have this skylight. Skylights, guys, may I give you a sentence first saying eco homes have skylights in the roofs to light the house and save energy. So look at it, this is the skylight. So what I mean by skylight is like a big window in the roof to let the light in, so they don't use a lot of lamps in these eco homes. So this is a skylight. Let's move to solar panel. Take my sentence first. There are solar panels on the roof to make electricity. So guys, these are the solar panels. We put solar panels on the roof to make electricity. So what I mean by solar panels, as you can see, it's a flat piece of glass, flat or thin piece of glass that catches the sun's energy. And of course, we use these solar panels to make solar energy. So they are the solar panels. And I have electricity. Look at this picture. Electricity is used to light our homes. So electricity, guys, it's the energy we use to make the machine work. Any kind of machines work through this electricity. Pay attention, we can't see electricity, but we use it to light our homes and to make our machines work. So guys, this is the electricity. And the last one here, I have spring. Take my sentence saying the families in eco homes get water from a spring near them. So guys, what I mean by spring, as you can see, this is a spring. A spring, it's a place where fresh water comes out of the ground. So it's a place where fresh water comes out of the ground. And also guys, we know that spring is a season in our year. So may I say, we can see a lot of beautiful flowers in spring. So spring has two meanings, and in both the two meanings, it's a noun. And now guys, let's know some new structure. First of all, I have this phrasal verb, use up. Look at the sentence. We use alternative energy not to use up the planet's resources. So what I mean by use up? Use up the planet resources mean to take all the kinds of energy on the earth and finish them. So you take all the oil or the coal and leave nothing on the earth. So of course, this clean energy, which I said before that they are renewable energy, can't use up all the planet's resource and save the energy. So this is use up. Let's move to at end of. May I say we moved in our new eco home at the end of June. So it's at the end of. And also I have the same as. The eco home is not the same as everyone else's house. May I say I am the same as my sister. So this is the same as. And now guys, let's know more about our lesson. In our lesson, we have a family, they are Martin Harris and his family. They live in an interesting house. It's an eco home. Eco homes don't harm the environment, as you know, because they use alternative energy. They don't use fossil fuels like coal or oil, so they don't use up the planet resources. And also, guys, these homes are very cheap to build. It has wooden beams and wooden floors. It has stone and mud walls, and it has a skylight in the roof. There are some solar panels on the roof to make electricity, and the family gets water from a spring near them. Martin and his wife Laura were working in a forest when they decided to build their eco home. They wanted somewhere more exciting in which they can work and live, and at the same time they wanted to save energy. So they thought to build this eco home. Martin family loves their home because it helps the planet and it looks amazing at the same time. And you guys, what about you? Would you like to live in an eco home in the future maybe? If you said yes, you have to say why. If you said no, you have to say why not. And tell me your answers next session. And now, guys, let's practice some questions. We have to choose the correct answer. First of all, Martin Harris and his family don't use what like coal or oil. Coal and oil, of course, they don't use fossil fuels. So this is fossil fuels. Number two, we use what to get energy from the sun. From the sun. So you use these solar panels to get energy from the sun. And we have my house has what in its roof? Of course, to let the light in, skylights. Number four, eco homes use alternative what? Alternative energy. Eco homes are what to build? They are cheap to build. Okay, this is our practice for lesson 5 and 6. And now let's move to lesson 7. Let's take some new words in lesson 7. The first one, it's book. As you know, I can use book as a noun saying I'm reading a book. But today we are going to take it as a verb saying I will book a room in this hotel. Or may I say I'll book a ticket to see the match. So this is book as a verb. Let's move to eco cabin. As you can see, it's eco cabin. So look at this picture. It's the eco cabin. May I say we booked a holiday in a beautiful eco cabin. So in Alaska. So what I mean by eco cabin, it's like a small hotel, but it's in the nature. It uses alternative energy like eco homes, and you can enjoy your time there in the nature. So this is the eco cabin. It's like small homes in the nature that also use clean kinds of energy like eco homes. Also we have chemicals. Look at these pictures. Chemical. So what I mean by these chemicals? May I take a sentence first saying we shouldn't use chemicals that harm the environment. So these are the chemicals. We shouldn't use chemicals that harm the environment. So of course chemicals are dangerous materials that damage the environment. Okay, so this is the chemicals. And also we have waterfalls. I'll give you a sentence saying you can enjoy seeing the high waterfalls. So this is the waterfall. Okay, so waterfalls, as you can see from the picture, it's a place where water comes from a very high place, making a beautiful view. As you can see, a lot of people go there to watch the waterfalls. And also I have caves. caves. Look at the sentence. We explored some caves to see how people lived in the past. So this is the cave, guys. So cave, it's a hole in the mountain or maybe in the hill in which people live in the past. So this is the caves. Now guys, let's know more about these eco cabins. Getting back to nature. If you want to enjoy an amazing holiday and help to protect the environment at the same time, you have to book a holiday in a getaway eco cabin in Alaska. These cabins are beautiful buildings. Builders used wood and mud to build the walls. There are skylights in the roof, so we save electricity like the eco homes. The small skylights give us light in the day, so we don't use electric lights. We don't use chemicals to clean the rooms because we don't want to damage the environment. Okay, and also guys, you can walk in the mountains near the cabin and see lots of local wildlife. Also, you can enjoy a boat trip on the lake and see the amazing waterfalls or visit the beautiful caves. Years ago, people used to live in the caves. You can still see some of the caves homes today. In Getaway Cabin, you can have a great holiday and enjoy the nature. So this is the eco cabins, guys. And now let's practice some questions. Also, we have choose the correct answer. The first one is the cabins or beautiful, of course, beautiful buildings. What used wood and mud to build the walls of the houses? Build, so of course they are the builders. Number 3, there are what in the roof, so we save electricity? Skylights. I love animals, so I often go to the wildlife park. The last one, it's good to use what because it's healthy and cheap. It's good to use alternative energy because it's health and cheap. Okay, guys, this is our lesson for today. If you want to ask any question, you can ask. Thank you and see you later.